Chris Dunn here with The Truth About Guns, showing you the Sauer P250 twosome combo package. If any of you remember the Dan Wesson pistol packs of the 1980s, 1990s, where you got one revolver, cylinder frame assembly, and then they sent you various grip modules and various barrel lengths and sight combinations. This is real similar to that, but instead of being a 44 Magnum revolver, this is a polymer frame, double action automatic for the 21st century. And what you get is the case, you get the two grip frames, you get two barrel slide assemblies, you get one serialized fire component, and then you get a paperweight. Sorry, gun lock. I hate those. Check this again. Okay. This is probably going to be most interesting to most purchasers as a subcompact, because it's a pretty impressive subcompact 9mm or 40 or 45 or 357 SIG. There is some interchangeability in calibers. I'll get into that in a little bit. This one is a 9mm. It weighs about 25 ounces, fully loaded, but that does include 13 rounds of 9mm. So the empty weight, I think, is about 18 ounces. It has a 3-inch barrel, a very smooth and consistent double action only trigger pull. They say that it's between 5.5 and 6.5 pounds. Mine, on my trigger scale, weighs out at exactly 7.5 pounds, but it's 7.5 pounds from the beginning to the very end. It doesn't get gritty, it doesn't stack. It's an excellent double action pull. It feels more like Smith & Wesson revolver than like any double action automatic pistol I've ever fired. What makes it different from other subcompact carry pistols is it's not the trigger pull, it's not the hammer fire or striker fire design. It's the fact that this gun can be taken apart and you can change just about everything about it: barrel length, grip size, grip length, magazine capacity, even caliber, by getting on the internet and ordering some extra parts from SIG. This one starts out as a 9mm, but when you take it down, it quickly turns into either a bigger 9mm or a 40 or a 357 SIG. These are also offered in 45 ACP, but the 45s have a different magazine design, and the opening for the magazine has to be different, coming through the fire control group. So the 45s are not interchangeable with other calibers, but you can change this from a 9 to a 357 SIG to a 40 for about $200, and that's pretty impressive. This is the serialized part. This is what the ATF considers to be a firearm. This is just a grip. This is just a barrel and slide. No serial numbers on these, no restrictions. So you pop this out, and you saw how easy that was. And you pop it into the next size frame. In this case, it's a full size. There's also an intermediate compact frame, which we've already reviewed last year. That's been one of our most popular gun reviews ever. But this shows how easy it is to really customize the gun. So you pop this into the other grip frame, make sure it seats just right, and put the takedown pin back in. You have to line those up just right, but it's eyeball friendly. There we go. And slide the new slide on. It does ride on 4 sections of steel rail, so it is steel on steel contact the whole time. And lock that in, turn up the takedown lever. You used to have a subcompact, now you've got a full-size duty gun. As a duty gun in 9mm, and this isn't a critique of the design, this is just an observation on the caliber and on the size of this gun. This is a honking huge 9mm. Unless you were a police officer, law enforcement, and your department approved these for use, which I don't see why they wouldn't, but unless these were approved for use and you were going to carry this in a paddle holster or a retention holster, I don't know who would really be in the market just for a huge 9mm. If you're going to carry a gun this big, you probably want it to be at least a 40, probably a 45. They do sell these in 45, but you can't switch the calibers. And as a full-size gun. It uses the same magazines, they're just a little bit longer. Think Glock 17 versus Glock 19. Calibers the magazines are always upwards compatible, not always downwards compatible. This is a 17+1 instead of a 12+1 for the subcompact. One of my critiques about the gun, and I haven't taken it to complete the firing tests yet, but one of my gripes about this gun so far is the cost of magazines. Everybody knows that 2 magazines isn't going to do the job for you. The gun comes with a full size and a subcompact. If you want to get more, and yes, you will want to get more, they're going to run you almost $50 each after you buy them, pay for taxes, and pay for shipping over the internet. $50 each. I've never had a gun, I've never even tested a gun with magazines that cost that much. Even my buddy Joe Grind, he's into expensive guns. Even his don't cost that much, and that's really saying something. So you get all this, and you get it for a pretty reasonable price. The subcompact itself, if you just buy it just as the subcompact, runs less than 400, quite a bit less than 400. Real world prices, I don't know what the MSRP is. The full size runs about the same. I don't imagine they sell too many of these full size guns on their own, except perhaps in 40 or 45 ACP. There's also a compact intermediate version. Look at our list of gun reviews for a link to that. But the whole kit together costs, real world price, about $575. And so I got this one through Bud's Gun Shop, and this was so the list price was $575, free shipping. And this isn't an ad for Bud's, but just as an example, $575 free shipping. By the time I paid sales taxes and transfer fees with my local FFL guy, this would run less than $650. And for that, you really get 2 guns. It's got a lot of cool features, but that being said, if you're not into double action only, this might not be the gun for you. This is probably better than any other double action only gun you've ever fired, and if the concept appeals to you, you should go check one out at a gun store. That's what attracted it to me. They advertised that the trigger pull is somewhere between 5.5 and 6.5 pounds. That was a little optimistic. My trigger pull gauge measures it at exactly 7.5 pounds from front to back. It never stacks at the end. It doesn't get any heavier. It stays 7.5 pounds from the beginning to the end. It's like a really good Smith & Wesson K-frame or J-frame double action revolver pull. So really what you get is you get a 13-round double action 9mm. The sights are high visibility, reasonably low snag. I haven't had any trouble picking them up. They have nice big white dots on them. What I don't like too much is that the rear sight is not adjustable at all. You can see that it's not drift adjustable, it's not windage adjustable. If you want to change the height on the rear sight, your only option is to order new sights from SIG for about $40 each. And their instruction book doesn't give any hint as to how you swap those out yourself. That might be a small gunsmith job. The front sight is drift adjustable only, but because of the design, it has a very delicate looking little dovetail. I would not be taking my rubber mallet to that myself. I would take that to a gunsmith or spend $35 ordering SIG's proprietary front sight adjustment tool. That being said, the gun is completely ambidextrous. You can switch the magazine release from right hand operation to left hand operation. All it takes is a paper clip. You don't need a SIG proprietary paper clip tool. And you can tell here that the magazine release is left hand and right hand. It's on both sides. It's extremely low snag. You can see the narrowness of it there. It comes in various different grip sizes. You can tell that this grip is a bit thicker than this grip. This is the very small grip. This, I think, is the medium or the medium large. This is a pretty bulky, hand-filling grip. It's got a lot of extra filler on the sides. And it has a texture on it that's sort of like slightly worn down skateboard tape. It's not going to leave any terrible damage to your hands shooting it a bunch. It actually reminds me quite a bit of the dimensions of the grip on a H&K, I think it's a P30, their new version. But this does not have replaceable grip scales or back straps or anything. It has replaceable whole grips, and they run about $40 to $50 online if you can find them. SIG doesn't seem to be making very many of them, so there's a lot of them out there where it says out of stock, back ordered. Don't bother. I'm not looking for any new grips now. This seems to work fine for me so far. And I will be following this up after I put about 500 rounds through it with a shooting report and some more videos of me doing something other than flapping my gums at you. So this is Chris Dunn signing off for The Truth About Guns.